Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Now, the question can be asked, are all grades the same? And the answer to that is no. Surprisingly, you would think that if something graded a 20, it would look like a 20 no matter what note you have. And you wouldn't expect to find variables in the 20 grade, that is. The other thing is, what about comparing a 20 Federal Reserve note to a $20 colonial, or a $20 foreign note, or a $20 obsolete, or a grade 20 Confederate note? Every single one of those notes has different paper qualities, which means at a glance, you may think it's an 8, but because of the type of paper it's done on, it could have an extremely different grade. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I was discussing the $2 version of this CSA, and you can see this is the one that has the green overprint. And let's see, if you look at the back, you can kind of see how much damage there is to it. But this is done on extremely thin paper. I don't want to get into price because I'm going to get into that when I talk about it, but just look at the actual grade, okay? You can see all kinds of different things about this note. And I have another one, and this one you can see is definitely got some pieces missing. Not perfect in any shape, any way, shape, or form. Once again, looking at the back of this one. Now, I wasn't sure how the lower grades on CSAs work. So I gave in and I bought one. And I'm not going to show you the grade because, once again, this is for later. But when you look, I mean, there's a hole. If you look at the top, it's rough cut. If we look at the back, it looks just like the rest of them, doesn't it? So the question is, what would you grade this note at? And we're going to get into that a little later. But once again, this I bought graded just so I could see what the grading company would say of a particular grade so that I could compare it to what I already had. And I think the results are going to surprise you, especially when you see this one good. Anyway, like I said in the intro, grades are different, surprisingly, for different types of notes. And this is going to be a prime example of that. So when we get to the end and I start talking about this one, you're going to see that. All right. What do I have this week? Well, let's see what I found. Found a Where's George. Track me at www.where'sgeorge.com. If you like Where's George and you enjoy participating in Where's George, you do not need a stamp. You can literally write Where's George on a note, log it in at the website, and spend it. And that's as easy as it is. Found a stripper note. This one covered in baby oil. This one was a stripper note a while ago because it's pretty much dried out, but yes, it is. Found a high number. This particular one is 9599. In order for this to have value, you'd want one more 9 there because then it would be a 3-digit high number. This is a 4-digit high number. Has no value, but it's the highest note I've found so far, so we'll keep that in the running. And then I got an alternator. This one has 4 as the alternators. 1, 4, 5, 4, 9, 4, 6, 4. What do I got here? This one, I don't think it has any additional value. It's a very tough note to spot. It is a broken ladder. Sorry, it's a mixed ladder. I shouldn't confuse that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Has all the digits from 0 to 7. In a random order. Now, if these were in order, this note would be worth thousands, but it's not because there's many, many, many ways to make a mixed ladder like that. Oh, 2 notes stuck together. Now I'm curious, what's the note behind it? It's just a random note that was stuck to it. That's interesting. The amount of times I go through notes and didn't see these 2 stuck together. All right, well, that'll go in the return pile. All right, what do we got here? Birthday note. This would be July 29th, 1965, and it's in the proper order. Another birthday note here. This would be September 27th, 1961. And this one's backwards, 1965, February 4th, or the 2nd of April. I mean, if you're going to go backwards, might as well go all the way. I don't think that there'd be any value in this, but if I found my birthday in this order, I'd certainly keep it. Not that I'd buy my birthday in that order, but anyway. Found some trinaries, 2s, 3s, and 5s on this one. 1s, 2s, and 3s here. If 0s, 1s, and 2s are a true trinary, what's 1s, 2s, and 3s? It's the same as 0s, 1s, and 2s. It's nothing. It's simple. People calling true trinaries a thing are just trying to make trinaries sound rare. They aren't. You're going to see a ton of them here. Here's 0s, 1s, and 3s. 2s, 7s, and 9s. 1s, 2s, and 8s. 0s, 3s, and 8s. 1s, 6s, and 9s. 1s, 4s, and 9s. 3s, 6s, and 9s. Yeah, you see how rare those are? No. Every week you see me find a stack of those. There is no value there. I can't stress that enough. I save them trying to find pairs. You guys know that. I don't sell them unless I put up an ad saying, these are worthless. Buy them if you prove me wrong to buy them, or something to that effect. I've got quads. Quad 4s, this has a 5th. Quad 5s, and that's a trinary, 1s, 5s, and 8s. Quad 6s with a 5th, quad 7s, quad 8s with a 5th, and oh, it's an odometer. It's a gas pump error. It's worth $1 million. No. Then my stars, 2017 A star, check to see if they're filled. 2017 A star, 2017 A, 2017. Remember, stars are going away, but that's not going to drastically increase their value anytime soon, because there are still tons of these out here. When you can still find stars in circulation going back to 2003, that means for the next, if you can find stars from the last 20 years in circulation, it's reasonable to think you will find stars for the next 20 years in circulation. So let's just keep that in mind. Not to mention that anybody that actually collects currency probably already has a bunch of stars. So who are you selling your stars to? Just things to keep in mind. Don't fall for the hype. That's all I'm saying. All right. 2017 star. Another 2017 star. Another 2017 star. 2013 star. Oh, it's got a dark digit. That must be worth $1 million. 2013 star. And then we get the older notes. 2003A. I pull any note that's 20 years or older because they're generally well past their prime. Another 2003A. Another 2003A. And another 2003, and that one's a trinary, so maybe that's going to go in the other pile. Another 2003 here. 2001, which you don't see a lot of. 1999, rough shape. Another 99, another 99. 1995, checking to see. The easy way to check for a web note, does it have a location right here? Yes, it does. Then it's not a web note. A web note, this will be blank. Let's see. Another 95, not a web. 1988A, first year for web notes, not a web note. 1977A, rough shape. And the oldest note I found, I did find a 1963A. So those were my finds for this week. So what did I pull? Well, like I said, I was talking about this one here is the T-45. I was talking about the $2 version of this note. I want to say it's T-43. And that one, according to the book, in a grade 8 is $75, but in a grade 20 is $1,000. Well, the $1 note, this particular note, here we'll pull the book out and show this. By book, we're talking paper money of the United States, of course. And we open it up, and there is the $1 note. The CS44 does not have the green overprint, but the ones that do are the type 45. You can see the green overprint there. And once again, look, in a grade 8, you're talking 75. in a, how does it go? 12 is $225. And in a 20, it jumps up to $550. I made the comment about the $2 version, which starts at $75, then goes to $350, and then at a grade 20 is $1,000. Well, normally the difference between a grade 8 and a grade 20 is pretty significant. So I didn't have any of these that were graded. All the ones that I had were the ungraded versions. Now remember, in a grade 20, this is $550 compared to the $75 in a grade 8. So once again, when we're looking at these, look at it up close. You can see all the creases. You can see the top. You can see all of this. There's a hole there. Cut off center. Looking at the back, you know, once again, that's where you see all the damage to the notes. Both of these are in similar condition. So my eye would easily say that both of these would be a grade 8. That's what my eye tells me. So let's look at the graded note. Once again, look at the top. You can see how it's all all shredded like that. You can see all kinds of creases. The cut is off center, which these were hand cut, so that's no big deal. But let's look at the back. Look at all those creases. If you were to ignore everything in this note and just compare the backs of these notes, are they not the same? They're the same. Now, when we look at this note, if I hold it up to the light, there's a hole. And we look here, repaired edge tear, small holes. That's the notation on it. So what's the grade? I mean, I don't normally play the guess the grade version, but like I said, the homework assignment for me was, what grades are these really? And I would have assumed these are grade 8. But I think it's pretty safe to assume that these are every bit as good as this, right? I mean, wouldn't you agree? You know, once again, here's the front. Look at the edges. The coloring, I mean, the graded one's the darkest. So it's just interesting to see that. So what is the grade of this PCS graded note? It's a 20. Yes, it's a 20 details. The details, that's the details. Repaired edge tear and small holes. But the note, minus the edge tears and the holes, that's a 20. What does that make these? Are these 20s? I got these for less than, you know, probably in the $50 range, maybe even less. And if these are 20s, if these graded a 20, that puts their value at $550. If these were the $2 notes, once again, the $2 notes, those are worth $1,000 in a grade 20. Am I saying this is what a 20 will grade at? No, I'm not saying that at all. Once again, in my opinion, these are 8s or 10s. I just can't believe PCGS put a 20 grade on this. So are all grades equal? Apparently not. Apparently you can get much better grades on CSAs than you can on regular notes. Is that because the paper is thinner? Don't know. All I can do is show you what I see and let you put your thoughts to it. All right, guys, if you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.